Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories tonight. Massive turnout of workers across Nigeria as they mark Workers' Day. Workers in Abuja disrupt Labour Minister's speech, show disappointment at the president's economic situation. Vice President gives assurance of a healthy economy, tells a gathering at Covenant Christian Center in Lagos that there is a steady march out of recession. More trouble for President Zuma as workers boo him out of the rally ground as he gets on to address them. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Speaking of which, here are a few pictures that you sent into our Eyewitness portal. Let's begin with this one. It's from Ibadan Road in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, which our Eyewitness reporter describes as a Mayday downpour. The negative effect of the rain is that it led to flooded roads. Our Eyewitness reporter is calling on the state government to expand the drainage system. Next is this picture of the deplorable state of the Otafa Road in Abua Odwal local government area of Rivers State. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the authorities to urgently fix the road. We also have this from Lokoja, Kogi State, where water shortage is said to be causing residents hardship. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the Water Corporation to address this before an epidemic spreads. And thank you for sending in those pictures. We hope that you keep them coming, especially May Day celebrations across the country. Staying with the May Day celebrations, I'm being joined on the news at 10 now by the President of the Trade Union Congress, Comrade Boboy Kegame. He joins us from our studios in Abuja. Comrade Kegame, thank you so much for joining us on the news at 10.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, great to have you here. What was today's rally really about in Abuja? You heard the minister say that some thugs were hired to go against him. Is that what really happened?
Well, it was an unfortunate incident, but beyond that, I want us to realize that a hungry man is always an angry man. Nigerian workers have been so patient. They have these issues of arrears of promotions, some from 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011 up to the current period. And then you have other issues like death benefits, pensions have not been paid, those that retired over a year ago have no access to their pensions because the federal government is not rendering its own contributions to the pool. The contributions that is in the pool is only that of the worker, and you cannot access SEM until the two contributions are put together. Then you talk of other issues like training allowances, first 28 days for people who are posted out of their current stations, and then to cap it up, the issue of the national minimum wage, which has been lingering.
So how would you rate a productivity level of your colleagues? Many Nigerians would say the average Nigerian worker is seemingly non-productive.
Well, you know, productivity has a lot of parameters you use for measuring. You must look at the working environment. You must look at the pay package, the welfare of the worker, before you add these issues of the indices together to make up what you call a productivity assessment index. So if the employer does not provide the working tools. The employer does not provide the enabling environment like the offices, like paying the worker his salary as at when due, giving him his allowances that are genuinely due to him, paying the family of deceased workers when such things happen, and then when you promote him, you don't give him, for instance, we have officers that are on level 14, level 15, even 16, that are still collecting salaries of level 10. You know, after being promoted over and over, you don't enjoy these grades. You still enjoy the grades that you were 6, 7, or even 8 years ago. So obviously these things will bring about complaint, will bring about anger, will bring about pains on the part of the workers. Then the landlord is not prepared to listen to whether you are appropriately paid or not. Those transporters will never want to listen to you. When you get to the market, nobody wants to listen to you that probably you have not been appropriately paid, or that the inflationary trend is not commensurate with your salary increase.
And it continues the vicious cycle. Thank you so much, Comrade Boboy Kegama, for joining us on the News at 10. I appreciate you all being here tonight. A lot of issues, of course, to address. In the meantime, the federal government says before 2018, Nigeria will become self-sufficient in rice production. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo made this revelation today while addressing a gathering at the platform, a yearly conference organized by the Christian Covenant Christian Center in Lagos. He says there is light at the end of the tunnel.
2009. I must say that it's been a very key execution priorities. That is, 4 things that we think that if we can get right, will completely turn things around for the Nigerian economy, especially turn things in the direction of real growth with jobs. What are those 4 things? 1, stabilizing the macroeconomic environment. 2, delivering agricultural and food security. 3, energy sufficiency, that is, adequacy of power and petroleum products. And then improving transportation infrastructure, driving through industrialization, through small and medium-scale enterprises, and of course delivering an effective social investment program. That's just an addition. So we think that these 4 things, plus a social investment program, are absolutely important to do the trick. So for us, focusing on agriculture was key. And there are 2 good reasons. Agriculture and the whole agro-allied value chain is clearly the fastest way of creating jobs and lifting millions out of poverty. The majority of Nigerians are actually poor subsistence farmers. And we decided that to move them out of poverty, if you provided the right inputs, especially seedlings and fertilizer, equipment also, they could actually multiply their yield and make more money. So through the CBN's Anchor Borrowers Program, we were able to provide financing for almost 200,000 farmers in the first place. And in almost all of the cases, local production has almost tripled. We are now producing close to 4 million tons of rice. We were importing about 580 tons in 2015. But by 2016, we're importing about 10% of that, just about 58,000 tons. Now, if all goes well, we should be producing all of our own rice by the end of 2018. And if we're able to do so, it means that a substantial part of the foreign exchange that we spend now importing rice will be saved.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Staying with the gathering today, the Minister of Finance and former Governor of Anambra State also about how Nigeria can be taken out of recession. The Minister, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, blamed the past administration for concentrating only on current expenditure, leaving the agriculture sector and other areas unattended to.
The reason why we're talking about massive borrowing today is because we didn't save yesterday. That is what they said. Our constitution, I listened to one of the prophets talk about the Epicurean life. Our politics and lifestyle have been built on a Epicurean life. Let's take care of today for tomorrow will take care of itself. That is why our constitution, 162 section of our constitution, says that we shall maintain a federation account through all which monies will be paid into and shared to the 3 tiers of government, state, federal, and local government, without any remaining. Even in motor park, they keep some change for tomorrow. But everything here is shared. Because of it, there was no saving. No nation can survive without saving for tomorrow. Never. And that is the crisis we face today. We now have, I read it in the paper every day, 6.9 billion excess crude deduction, out of which 1,250 million, which is about 380 billion, had already been shared.
I don't want to join issues with Governor Obi. He's an excellent governor and a patriotic Nigerian, but a few of those things he was reading are not quite accurate. Thank you. There's a consensus that Nigeria missed a lot of opportunities. And we need to understand why. Because the truth is, what we spent money on were the wrong things. And that's the result we now have. There's always a lag. There's always a delay between action and effect. We are now suffering the effects of what was done 2, 3, and 4 years ago. 90%, sorry sir, 90% of government expenditure was on what we call recurrent. What is recurrent? Salaries, travel, training, welfare. Welfare, by the way, is food. Welfare. That's what we were spending money on. Only 10% went on capital. Only 10% of government spending was on capital. Now, what is capital? Roads, rail, power, housing, building educational institutions. Only 10% of government expenditure was capital.
When the News at 10 returns, PricewaterhouseCoopers recommends proper economic management to sustain Nigeria's optimistic growth forecast. We'll have that in business news. Please join us again.